Don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself, oh, that's unrealistic. Or, no, the chance of that happening is just, is so micro small, it's not even worth considering. You got to throw all that thinking out the window. Hey, it's Rob. Welcome back. Here we are with Chapter 1 of the 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires, written by Brian Tracy. This is an older book, and fortunately for us, the principles still apply. And that's one of the reasons that I am presenting this book, is because a lot of you may not have ever heard of it. And so I want to bring it to you and give you the opportunity to experience it here on my channel. If you want to purchase the book, you can do that through my link down below. You can sign up for your free Audible subscription there as well. And head on over to the website at Soul Source. That's yoursoulsource.com. That is the website that I run, that you can get signed up there for the email newsletter, and then you can be a part of our community. So let's dive into Chapter 1, which is called Dream Big Dreams. This is the starting point for everything. And Brian Tracy, as we just kind of talked about at the end of the introduction, sort of picks up where he left off in Chapter 1 with the fact that there are no limits, okay? And that the only limits that are in existence in our lives are the ones that we put there ourselves. Why would you limit yourself? Well, there's all kinds of reasons why we limit ourselves, and that's a whole different subject altogether that gets into a lot of different mindset type of stuff. This book is about the law of cause and effect, and about doing the things that successful people do and getting the same results or similar results, right? So there are no limits, okay? So when you dream and when you fantasize about the life that you want to live and the things that you want to have and the places that you want to go, don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself, oh, that's unrealistic. Or, no, the chance of that happening is just, is so micro small, it's not even worth considering. You got to throw all that thinking out the window. You have to start out thinking that you can do anything you want to do. All right. Now, of course, there are physical limitations for some of us. For instance, I am too old and not athletic enough to play in the NBA. Okay. I played basketball when I was in high school, and it was a lot of fun, and I loved it. And I tried out as a walk-on in college, and I did not make the team. And that is where my basketball career ended. Okay. I am not now going to, this late in life, go to the NBA and try and talk a scout into, it's just not going to happen, okay? That's not what he's talking about, all right? What he's talking about is, particularly when it comes to finance, obviously, you don't want to have a cap on what you think you're capable of, all right? There are many, many, many self-made millionaires who went bankrupt before they ever found the right means to get to where they are now. All right, that's something that he covered in the introduction, but I'm harking back to it because, again, if someone who declared bankruptcy a couple of times gave up at that point on their dreams of becoming a self-made millionaire, that's it. They wouldn't be. The number that he gives in the book is 3.2 times. The average self-made millionaire has gone bankrupt 3.2 times. I don't know what the number is now. I haven't done any current research on that, and I don't know how he did his research. I do know that he spoke with self-made millionaires to do this, to write this book. So the point is that when you visualize, again, you want to visualize your perfect life. You want to sit down and you want to dream big dreams. You want to get to the point where you don't have a cap or a limit on your own imagination. Stop telling yourself something is realistic or not realistic, because that's you that's telling yourself that. Nobody else is. You're the one who decided that it's realistic or unrealistic. And other people might tell you, if you tell them about your dreams, they might tell you, that's not realistic. What do they know? Why take their word for anything? Personally, I'm a person who I don't really care a whole lot what other people have to say. I do, in the sense that when I have a conversation with someone, obviously I'm interested in learning more about them, and I'm interested in learning more about you, and I care in that sense of what people have to say. But what I mean is that when it comes to my dreams and my goals and my aspirations, I'm not listening to anybody except myself. All right, there's no reason to. One of the best pieces of advice I ever heard is never take advice from someone who doesn't already have what you want. All right. So if you're talking to your friends and you tell them that you want to do this, you want to, I don't know, you want to travel the world someday on your own private yacht, and they laugh at you and think that that's a goofy thing to want to aspire to, because what are the chances you're ever going to be able to do that? Be realistic. What do they know? You know? Throw that advice out the window. Be realistic. It's ridiculous. Don't be realistic, okay? Visualize your perfect life exactly as you want it, okay? Exactly as you want it to be. And then here's the biggest key, and this is one of the big things in chapter 1 that Brian talks about, is now you have to use what he calls back from the future thinking. Right? Not Back to the Future, great movies, but not what we're talking about here. Back from the future thinking, which is what a lot of high achievers use. You may have heard this before, called the Merlin method. All right, that's another term that's used to apply the same basic concept, which is where you're visualizing your perfect life. Okay, step back and figure out each step along the way. What do you have to do? What do you have to do? What do you have to do, right? So in the Merlin method, for instance, you would say, all right, I have a net worth of $1 million. What's the last step right before that? All right. And you can get as granular as, well, my net worth is $999,000, and you can get that granular if you want, and it helps to for some people. But then you want to figure out, all right, how do I make my net worth $999,000? And for some of us, you may trace that back to, maybe you have like a no net worth right now. Maybe your net worth is at zero. Maybe you got a negative net worth, all right, which is a lot of America. So the first step would be on the way to getting to $1 million net worth would get to a positive net worth, right? Now, take that step, getting to a positive net worth. How do I get to a positive net worth? Well, my assets have to outweigh what I owe, my liabilities, right? It's simplistic, I understand, and it seems silly to break it down like that to some people, but the Merlin method is really an effective way to get what you want, because you are step by step breaking it down. And once you have a series of steps, you get back to where you are today, right? And now you know the first step you need to take. Okay, you trace all the way back to where you are today. Okay, and then you have the first step to take. And then take that step. You've got to take that first step. You've got to take action. But it all starts with dreaming big dreams. And he closes the chapter by saying that dreaming big is the first step in becoming a self-made millionaire. And that most people don't get there because they've convinced themselves that it's not possible. They never dream big. And so they shut themselves down before they ever get to the point where they might figure out an action step to take to push them in that direction, right? So don't be that person, okay? Dream big, all right? Release the limits off your thinking and get yourself to a place where you are comfortable telling yourself that you can do it, because you can do it. Anybody can do it. Again, going back to the law of cause and effect, which is the through line and the theme of this entire book, okay? You've got to do the same things that the people before you did, you'll get the same results, all right? Plenty of people have become self-made millionaires. I believe the newest number, the most recent figure, there are something like 800,000 self-made millionaires in America. It's 1 in 15 people in America is a self-made millionaire. Brian gives different numbers in the book because, again, it's an older book. But he also points out that it's the most prosperous time in American history, in world history. And the number of self-made millionaires is growing and growing all the time. And it still is. And like I say, now it's 1 in 15 Americans as far as the latest research that I was able to conduct. So you can do it. If they can do it, you can do it. Why not? Right? Start asking yourself, why not? All right? And you shouldn't be able to even come up with an answer to that. And if you do come up with an answer to that and you say, why not? And then you come up with an answer, immediately cancel that. All right? Knock that answer out because it doesn't mean anything. You just created it to stop yourself. All right? So release your limits, dream big, and I will see you next in chapter 2.
If I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.